Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Conversations with Taz for Monday Mayhem. I know usually I have a few opening videos and everything else, but baby, listen. Grab your pearls, grab a drink, grab a snack. The tea has been pouring from the mountaintop since 10 a.m. this morning. If you missed the updates that I put up regarding the Atatiana Jefferson uh, pre-sentencing closing arguments, links are in the bio. Leave this video, go watch them, and come back. Yes, the jury is still deliberating. And yes, the defense attorney has all of the Anglo audacity that could have Anglo audacity. But baby, coming straight down the wire. Like I had been collecting articles right up into the moment that it was time to go live. So I know y'all used to the videos, but we going back. We're going back to our roots. Okay. You see these dark areas? We going back. We going back to our roots. Okay. Where but y'all gonna like this news. Okay, coming from the Associated Press and from Court TV and every news outlet, but this is the first one that popped up for me in my notifications. Harvey Weinstein found guilty of rape in Los Angeles trial. Yes, can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of applause? After a month-long trial and 9 days of deliberation, Los Angeles jurors on Monday found Harvey Weinstein guilty of rape and sexual assault of just one of four accusers he was charged with abusing. Now, I know it's one of four. My apologies to the other three individuals, but this is still justice because for so long, so many people in the entertainment industry have been allowed to get away with stuff. And if y'all didn't see what Ashanti put out the other day, and you had men in the music industry and other men saying that it was okay to exploit women, a win is a win. A win is a win. But the three guilty counts involving an Italian actor and model known at the trial as Jane Doe 1 still struck a major blow against a disgraced movie mogul and provided another hashtag #MeToo moment of reckoning 5 years after he became a magnet for the movement. Weinstein, who is 2 years into a 23-year sentence for a rape and sexual assault conviction in New York that is under appeal, could get up to 24 years in prison in California when he's sentenced. Baby, you can keep appealing this all you want. You still got to stay behind bars. He was found guilty of rape, forced oral copulation, and another sexual misconduct count involving the woman who said he appeared uninvited at her hotel room during a Los Angeles Film Festival in 2013. A win is a win. A win is a win. Because when men show up uninvited, and I don't know if y'all went to my miscellaneous commentary tab like I told y'all to do last night, when the defense attorney, or not the defense attorney, a commentator who was a former police officer and now a trial attorney was trying to make excuses for former officer Aaron Dean, you know, the man that was convicted of manslaughter in the death of Atatiana Jefferson, when he was called upon on a non-emergency line for a welfare check and ended up shooting her through a back window, excuse me, in front of her then 8-year-old nephew that she was babysitting, and was saying that sexual assault was just a social misunderstanding. A win is a win. A win is a win. But hold on. That ain't the only win. That ain't the only win. that that we got in regards to sexual assault and covering it up, coming from courttv.com. R. Kelly manager gets a year in prison for theater threat. Go with me here. Go with me here. And Court TV got this from the Associated Press. R. Kelly's one-time manager was sentenced Monday to a year in federal prison for calling in a shooting threat that halted a screening of a damning documentary about the R&B star. The punishment won't add to the time ex-manager Donnell Russell is already set to serve for a different effort to squelch sexual abuse claims against Kelly. Let me read that again. Let me read that again. The punishment won't add to the time ex-manager Donnell Russell is already set to serve for a different effort to squelch sexual abuse claims against Kelly. Russell told a Manhattan federal judge Monday that he had made bad judgments while briefly working with the Grammy-winning multi-platinum, we don't give a fuck, pedophile. That's not what the article says, but that's what I say. I'm not a horrible person, Russell said. Yes, you are. You're protecting a pedophile. Russell said he reconnected with Kelly, a fellow Chicagoan he'd met decades earlier, as the I Believe I Can Fly singer was facing a growing series of accusations that eventually fueled Kelly's sex trafficking and racketeering conviction last year. um, if if you knew him from Chicago, you already knew what he was doing. You already knew what he was doing. So you knew what he was doing on the road. And let it not slip by us that while in prison, R. Kelly thought that it would be apropos to release a whole album confessing his sins. And there was one song that said, and I quote, when he talked about seducing the ladies, he said, yes, some were older, some were younger, but they called me a pedophile. How was that? Baby, they weren't legal. That's how. You didn't let them leave. Oh, but y'all. You know the moral high ground pseudo Christians within the United States always try to take? Here's one thing that I don't think that actually I know they would never do. Coming from the Associated Press, Pope wrote resignation note in case of health impediment. Now, all over Truth Social, they're claiming that that the Pope has resigned from his position. No. Mm-mm. Let's break this down. Pope Francis has revealed in an interview published Sunday that shortly after being elected pontiff in 2013, he wrote a resignation letter in case medical problems impede him from carrying out his duties. That's responsible. Speaking to the Spanish newspaper ABC, Francis said he gave the note to Cardinal Tarcisco Bertrone, who then was the Vatican Secretary of State. The pontiff added that he presumes that the prelate currently in the Vatican number 2 role, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, now has written instruction. Makes sense. If you feel, because the popes, it's not like they're in their 20s or their 30s or early 40s or even when they become pope, you want to let people know, okay, this is what we got going on. This is what's established. I know you haven't been in these meetings. I know you ain't been in these prayer groups. Let me let you know what the people are saying that they need. Like, that's apropos for any position. Francis, who turned 86 on Saturday, I told you they're not spring chickens, okay? They are winter winches, but let's keep going. Had surgery in 2021 to repair a bowel narrowing and has been hobbled by knee pain that for months saw him use a wheelchair. Lately, he has increasingly used a cane instead of the wheelchair to get around in public. Oh, so evangelical prosperity preaching pastors within the United States. I thought just tapping the Bible on the body or having a pastor or a pastor's assistant or a deacon touch you or you getting some blessed holy water. I don't know who was blessing these ketchup packets of water would heal you. If the Pope, y'all do know how many popes have they dead. But y'all keep giving y'all money to them. Uh, Ask what happens if health issues or an accident suddenly leaves the Pope unable to do his job and whether there should be a rule for such instances. Francis replied, in practice, there's already a rule. I have already signed my renunciation, Francis revealed, nothing that he did so early in his papacy. But once again, on Truth Social, to the I do not research a damn thing MAGA crowd, they really think that the Pope is stepping down. And the conspiracy theories and the nonsense that is boiling over, there's some people that think that the Pope is stepping down because they're doing Trump wrong in this country. But they never make the connection. Because Protestant Christians within the United States don't see Catholicism as Christianity. That's why the KKK hates Catholicism. Just thought I'd toss that little nugget out to you. And none of these Christians know how Christianity works because Catholics believe that you need an intercessory in order to talk to Jesus. But the Bible said, oh, that's right. Just like the United States Bible, which is generally the translation after the Nazi 1940 Bible that said that homosexuality was bad, but in actuality, they were saying pedophilia was bad. But they don't want to tell y'all that because they keep practicing pedophilia and adultery in the church. The Catholic Church has fewer books than that. See, they want to tell you that they go to the continent of Africa as missionaries to save them, but they don't want to tell you about the Church of Ethiopia that predates them, and that there were black folk that were baptized or already members of the Church of Ethiopia before they got on those slave ships as kidnapped individuals by mercenaries or the Portuguese. Woo. Mm. Now, before we get into some other big stories, the big story of the day. The big story of the day. Coming from the Associated Press, January 6th panel urges Trump prosecution with criminal referral. I watched it. So forget an article. Let's go to my notes. Because there's layers to this like a parfait. So charges have been recommended against Trump to the DOJ, the Department of Justice, and the special counsel. This would bar him, upon indictment and conviction, from holding any office, specifically the office of the presidency, according to the 14th Amendment. Now, within the United States, we've never really had to question or even invoke the 14th Amendment. So, but I mean, we could have invoked the emoluments clause against Trump that we never had to before. But, the Republicans didn't want to do that. But now that the girls are fighting and the Republican Party, I think we'll have a better chance. So there is a co-conspirator named in this, and that is Mr. Eastman. The criminal referrals to the Department of Justice include obstruction of a proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, to incite, assist, or aid or comfort in insurrection. And the special counsel that he keeps going crazy about on Truth Social gets to determine whether they move forward or not. And the funny thing about it, this is a Trump appointed judge that became special counsel that isn't towing the line. When I say the girls are fighting, the girls are fighting. But also in today's announcement, there was a referral to the House Ethics Committee due to failure to comply with subpoenas from Representative Kevin McCarthy, who is the minority leader, a Republican from California, Representative Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio, Representative Scott Perry, Republican from Pennsylvania, and Representative Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona. I feel like maybe y'all shouldn't have been some asses. And before we move on any further, one thing that I forgot to mention regarding the Atatiana Jefferson case, like I said, the jury is currently deliberating. Hopefully, we'll have sentencing tomorrow, and the judge does have ultimate jurisdiction over that. The options are probation. If you did not go back and watch the closing arguments, there's two different videos, one from the prosecution, one from the defense, or 2 to 22 years in prison. There's also a civil case pending, so let's hope they do the right thing. But this is what Trump has going on Truth Social regarding today's emergency meeting of the January 6th committee. Because we know once the Senate becomes what it is supposed to become next month, pretty certain they're going to disband the January 6th committee because they want to investigate Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and waste taxpayer money and increase everything around the country and let the GOP sycophants lap it up and blame it on the liberal left that never works. But red states get the most government funded. You know what? Let's just go on. So Donald Trump started off with, but Liz Cheney lost by a record 40 points. 40 points is the record, old Donnie boy. You lost by a larger margin than 40 points. And down here, he's talking about the Twitter files where the FBI worked with Twitter under its previous ownership to ensure that, unlike in Facebook groups, people were not, white supremacists were not planning the insurrection on Twitter. Remember the other night when I showed y'all Trump's new get rid of censorship plan? How very Hitler of him. But oh no. No. Oh, and small caveat, on Telegram, Trump was advertised on Truth Social to be holding a public debate where you could be invited in to debate Putin, all these different things. Originally, the link, they were telling me that the link was bad. Then I finally got in. They would not let me into the debate. But the one thing that I did notice, there was only one subscriber. So that they only let one person in, which is telling me Trump was in there talking to himself. But let's keep going. Statement on January 6th committee referral. These folks don't get it that when they come after me, people who love freedom rally around me. It strengthens me. What doesn't kill me makes me strong. Okay, Kelly Clarkson. Americans know that I pushed for 20,000 troops to prevent violence on January 6th and that I went on television and told everyone to go home. First of all, those of us that are not delusional and trying to make excuses for you know how long it took you to say anything. And those that are posting things now that Trump has been reinstated from Twitter and they're cherry picking what to share. Yeah, we know like why they are obscuring the times. Yeah, you push for 20,000 troops, those troops would have came. Your lame excuse and the fact that your sycophants are like, Nancy Pelosi, she condemned them. Please tell me when there was a time in history where the Speaker of the House had more power than the President of the United States. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. And the fact that people believe that an underling could override, that's like saying that an assistant can override a CEO, a COO, or a CFO. Miss me with the bullshit. But let's keep going. The people under hold on, wait a minute. Before we move on, I almost forgot. Uh he said it strengthens me because the people who love freedom rally around him. The people who love him have been the people rallying around. They say that for small government. But what have we learned? These are the same people who celebrated Roe v. Wade being overturned, who cried over gay marriage being an interracial marriage being codified, because to them that wasn't traditional marriage. These are the same people who have what's called log cabin Republicans, you know, the LGBTQIA plus leg of the Republicans, that they don't include in the platform, that they consistently and publicly forbid from coming into their events. They're homophobic to their own. So what freedoms do these people believe in? Other than the freedom for them and only them to possess guns, hence the fact that they believe them and only them are the only ones that are armed to the teeth. And half of them can't afford it because they're too busy spending money on your grift, Trump. But okay. So here we go. The people understand that the Democratic Bureau of Investigation, there was a self-hating passe blanche man, J. Edgar Hoover, who was the head of the burgeoning first leg of the FBI. But okay, are out to keep me from running for president because they know I'll win and that this whole business of prosecuting me is just like the impeachment was a partisan attempt to sideline me and the Republican Party. First of all, the whole Republican Party is not behind you. And please explain to me how all of these investigations, including the January 6th hearings, started before you ever made an announcement. This to let you know the minuscule brain function of his sycophants. And this is why I sternly believe they know they're being grifted. They know it's a grift, but they don't care. As long as they can feel superior to somebody who is not white, they are here for it. I said what I said. Argue with your mama at night. Then he went on. The fake charges made by the highly partisan unselect committee. Now, all over Truth Social, there are tons of memes kicking Liz Cheney out of the Republican Party and depicting her as a fast food worker. So that lets her know, those of y'all that work in the service industry that still guzzle the glizzy of Trump and still vote Republican, they think that your jobs are the lowest of the low. That's why these Karens and Richards, you know what? If you ain't figured it out at work, I'm not hitting. But anyway, unselect committee of January 6th have already submitted, prosecuted, and tried in the form of impeachment hoax number 2, one convincingly double jeopardy anyone. First of all, the January 6th committee is not who impeached you. You did not win. You did not win. You were impeached twice. You just were not removed from office. That is like you being found guilty of a crime. Okay, let me use Aaron Dean, the former officer who was recently convicted of manslaughter in the case of Atatiana Jefferson. He's been found guilty. If the jury comes back and says, "Oh, we're just going to give him probation," it does not erase the conviction. He doesn't. Is he using double jeopardy like on the Alex Trebek show? And yes, I know Alex Trebek passed. I know there's a new host. If you know, you know. It's always going to be Alex Trebek shows. Get over it. Deal with it. That's how it is. Just like The Price is Right is always going to be Bob Barker's show. Argue with your mamas and daddies. Then he goes on. Think of it. The radical left Democrats, communists, spied on my campaign, lied to FISA, lied to the FISA court, lied to Congress, allowed an invasion of our country on the southern border, embarrassed us in Afghanistan, gave away our energy independence, killed us on job losing regulations, wouldn't use the 10,000 plus soldiers I recommended for January 6th, refused to look into election fraud, the reason for January 6th, rigged and stole the 2020 election, allowed ballot stuffing, FBI, Facebook, Twitter, and Biden crime. If Biden was nothing but a candidate, how did he orchestrate all of this? Trump was the commander in chief at that point. Did people forget the strong arming that Trump was doing and who he was firing and who he was replacing and who has come out saying that he was trying to intimidate? Have they forgotten the amount of people he's promised to pay legal bills for, but they know that he's full of shit, so no. And how did you recommend 10,000 plus soldiers as the president, but you keep blaming it on Nancy Pelosi? Which one is it? Because the original story was that Nancy Pelosi didn't call upon the National Guard when she has no jurisdiction to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the secondary story. The first story, you blamed the black mayor. And you only did that because she had Pennsylvania Avenue renamed Black Lives Matter. So those y'all that keep referring to the address of the White House as 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, did y'all forget that it was renamed 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue? Just a little caveat. Yeah, he's never, ever, ever won the popular vote, Mr. Rogers. Now, here comes Coontastic Coalition Chairperson, Candy Can. I'm just trying to grift as quickly as I can, Owens. Because remember, she didn't believe in racism because racism was over till somebody called her the N-word. We're not going to go through her whole history, but let's go through this tweet. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you find yourself agreeing with the mainstream media, the millionaire celebrities, and the billionaire tech owners, you are not a part of the resistance. You are you're a program sheep. Wasn't she trying to get a billionaire to save her husband at Parler? Doesn't she work for a millionaire, Ben Shapiro? And all of mainstream media is owned by Republican millionaire and billionaires. And but Fox News, OAN, Breitbart at this point, Newsmax, and News Nation are now considered mainstream media. Well, not Fox News anymore. They're considered mainstream entertainment. See, they don't think these things through. So it and what resistance have conservatives ever had? They're they're just resisting change. Like when you're talking about the resistance, you're talking about resisting oppression, not resisting change. And actually, given that conservatism literally means you want to keep the status quo, why are y'all on social media? Because that's not the status quo from your inception. I thought y'all did not want to move forward since since the party switch. Thought y'all wanted to keep everything where it was. So women that are Republican, why are you running for office? Why are you voting? Why are y'all on social media? Why do you have streaming platforms? Why do y'all even have smartphones or computers? So we have this. Yes, after they would not let me into that debate on Telegram, like sent like 4 requests in, they would not let your girl in. So they claim that the quote from Joe Biden is the average American doesn't care about their constitutional rights. And then from the pedophile rapist and slave breeder Thomas Jefferson, you have this quote: the greatest danger to American freedom is a government that ignores the Constitution. Isn't that ironic? On the heels of Donald Trump calling for the suspension of the Constitution so that he could be reinstated as president so he doesn't have to go to the big house and wear the jumpsuit and not be able to get his well done steak and ketchup and his Big Macs and Diet Cokes and pay exorbitant amounts of money so ladies will just look at his PP that's inverted. Let's go to the facts of the matter from Reuters. The image includes a photograph of Biden with the quote, the average American doesn't care about their constitutional rights. Reuters previously debunked the very similar quote, no ordinary American cares about constitutional rights, attributed to Biden in a fact check. The quote comes from a gun control speech then Vice President Biden made at Western Connecticut State University on February 21st, 2013, a little over 2 months after the horrific mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Because guess what was happening? When people were fighting for gun reform to keep children safe, there was a subsect, a growing, now enormous subsect of the United States that was more concerned about protecting guns than children. And that's why Biden said the average American doesn't care about their constitutional rights. Well, actually, he said no ordinary American cares about constitutional rights because they just care about what fits them. The United States is chock full of a bunch of othering, self centered, I just care about me people ever until something happens to them or their family. And now they want a sense of community and they want everybody to rally around them. Nah, baby girl. Nah, baby boy. Nah, baby other. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You said you stand alone. You said you solo dolo. Live in that. Because everybody that's always said, oh, I'm solo, I stand alone, I don't claim them, I can do it on my own, they always end up alone. Because guess what? That mentality, you can always tell when somebody's never had a sense of community. I don't give a damn what community they claim they've been a part of. You can always tell when somebody's never had a sense of community. And the biggest demographic that has never had a sense of community is white women. Because at least white men have the sense of community of fucking each other on camping and hunting trips. I said what I said. So, President Trump is going on a live debate on his private channel. I told y'all, I tried and I tried and I tried. They would not let your girl in. But the whole time, guess what I found out? There was only one person in there. So who was Trump debating? Himself? His demons? Ivanka? Well, it was only one person in there. His imaginary friend? Was he channeling Hitler? And Hitler just didn't resonate in a live? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the fact that we never listened to the indigenous people of this land and we still continue to not want to listen to them, we never will. We never will. Like they're still trying to hold on to coal as if coal has not depleted the fathers of so many in coal mining country. And those families will act like they're okay and they're not. They're not. But before we go on to the next one, let's get in to the new ad. Sorry, there's only half the audio. It was clipped last night. I'll make a new video because I got new products coming out this week, but we're going to ride with it, slide with it, because the merch is fire. So please share this. And if you haven't ordered from your girl, place an order, even if you get a sticker. Come on now.
Black girls magic, black girls rock. Once we get together, we can't be stopped. Cause we queens, relevant queens, intelligent queens, beautiful queens. Hey, black girls magic, black girls rock. Once we get together, we can't be stopped. Cause we queens, relevant we queens, intelligent queens, some beautiful queens. Hey. This one goes out to my sisters from other misters to let you know I'm with ya. Cause we are Nubian goddesses, princess and queens. Yeah, this is our anthem, this is our team. So don't let them say that you ain't beautiful, be true to you. And don't let them say that you ain't relevant, it's evident we queens. Talented queens, gifted queens, inspiring queens. Hey, and no matter what you're going through, just keep your head up, boo. Cause God gave us the power, and it's all in you. You the
Yo, coming from Court TV. We've been waiting on this one. There's been a lot of speculation how she was going to gather the coins, if she was going to try to go through with this appeal, knowing she can't afford any attorneys and she already had the forefront attorney quit on her because she made her cry. And after the whole thing came out that she never disputed that she was using her sister Whitney's baby to pretend like she had a baby by Elon Musk in order to get sympathy from the courts, and even traveling around town with the empty stroller and being associated with the woman who was drug trafficking through furniture. Miss Amber Heard, like I said from CourtTV.com, Amber Heard settles defamation suit against Johnny Depp. I guess she held a whole lot of cuddle parties. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get into it. Amber Heard has agreed to pay $1 million to settle her defamation suit with ex-husband Johnny Depp, according to an announcement the actress posted on Instagram Monday. Baby, you didn't have a choice. You agree? You don't have a choice. It's a court order. It is a judgment. Whew. Okay. While she didn't explain specifics related to the settlement, she made clear this move was not an admission of guilt, but a way for her to free herself from a situation that she says destroyed her life. Then why didn't you go through with the appeal? You blackmailed the hell out of Elon Musk. And my thing is, we know you hard up for cash, and Elon is going down quicker than the Titanic. Why? I mean, you did an op-ed on Johnny. It is pretty clear that you have more dirt on Elon. So are you settling this because you went back to the market to Elon and plucked some more money from the tree? Swing low, sweet ratchet. But that ain't the only crazy chick news I got for y'all. Coming from The Guardian. Y'all, yeah, if you don't know, now you know. Robert De Niro is married to a beautiful, melanated, but majestically melanated madame. Okay? He is married to a black queen. All right? Robert De Niro has never, even though J Lo tried to have that song, De Niro, baby, he ain't checking for you. Okay, he like the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. De Niro cares, even if don't nobody else care. Anywho, coming from The Guardian, woman allegedly tries to steal presents under Robert De Niro's Christmas tree. Baby, but that I don't know how involved Robert De Niro is as a husband and a father. His wife seems very happy. His children seem very happy. So I'm going to go out on the limb and say that he's involved even with his crazy schedule and him trying to make a way for his family. Okay? So you're going to tell me they done put all this energy and effort into decorating and getting all these presents, and you thought that, I'm going to say, be happy who caught you, caught you? Because I feel like if Mrs. De Niro would have caught you, your ass would have been De Niro, De Niro. Hey! So a woman accused of trying to steal actor Robert De Niro's Christmas presents from under the actor's Christmas tree in his New York apartment has been arrested, according to local media. Police arrested Shanice Aviles, 30, after she was allegedly spotted entering De Niro's East 65th Street home. Why y'all always got to give a fucking address? Can't you just say his New York home? So you're trying to set him at 2:45 a.m. in Manhattan and charge her with burglary, the ABC 7 TV news station reported. ABC said police says Aviles in the neighborhood saw Aviles in the neighborhood where she had been arrested numerous times previously and followed her as she tried several front doors. After losing sight of her, they then saw an open door to a townhouse and went inside, police said. The residence turned out to belong to De Niro, and Aviles was caught inside taking presents from under the Christmas tree in the home and stuffing them in a bag. All the commotion woke up De Niro, who came downstairs to see what was going on, ABC said. De Niro is one of the most acclaimed actors of his no shit. This is where I say thieves are stupid. And before you go, well, Taz, maybe she was an addict and she wasn't thinking clearly. She didn't just go turn doorknobs and just accidentally get into De Niro's home. If y'all believe me, anywho, I am nowhere near financially on the level of Robert De Niro. He has been working in the industry for years. I've never heard about him having financial troubles. So from his first role to current roles, because wait a minute, why is he in New York? He's shooting a movie. If you know, you know. If you know me personally and know where I live, you know why I'm verklempt right now. Because since they want to put out exact locations, let me shut up. But anywho, uh, these are not going to be gifts you can easily give to people or easily pawn for money. Like, ding, 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 ding. All the bells and whistles are about to go off. All of them. Every single one of them. But so the Title 42 restrictions that Trump put in place regarding immigration, the Trump appointed, pejoratively, SCOTUS has decided to temporarily uphold them. Once again, when are y'all going to give some pushback to your representatives to get the ones that lied to get into SCOTUS impeached? Like, I'm tired of explaining this to you. Know what? Whatever. Check the descriptions and the links in the bio for further information. And those of you all that watched last night and I told you about the information that I had available regarding the passport bros, I did link both of those blogs with the information linked into them as well as visuals in the description. So please go and check them out. Yeah. Now let's go to this. There's only 2 videos for the night. Let's go to this first video and talk about it. I'll see y'all in 2 and 2. Y'all know how we do.
Like to say to Twitch, like, what has he meant to you?
Well, I don't want to say goodbye.
Steven Twitch Boss has passed away at the age of 40. TMZ first reported the news on Wednesday morning, reporting that the famed Ellen DeGeneres show DJ died by suicide. Law enforcement sources reportedly revealed to the publication that his wife frantically went to an LAPD station on Tuesday and said that he had left home without his vehicle and wasn't acting like himself.
I want to say this for further context on what I mean, because this is a subject that hits really close to home on a multitude of levels. So I'm going to try to leave it surface level. I do have a blog regarding this. If you go to Camp Taz, the link is in my bio. And if you click on any of the links regarding my blog in the description of this video, you can just click where it says Camp Taz. It'll refresh it and you can just scroll down to it. Stop thinking because you force someone to be strong that they're okay. Stop thinking that you have tomorrow every single day to check in on somebody. Stop thinking that the little lie you told today that you saw snowball into something bigger will not affect somebody. Stop thinking that you can keep manipulating somebody to the edge and they won't jump off. And stop pretending when you have no sympathy and you have no understanding for depression. And I'm going to use myself as an example. There's someone in my own family that believed that I was suicidal. Now, I was at a point that I was giving up, and I was giving up on my family, not on my life. I was giving up, and I was ready to seclude myself from all sides of the family and say, fuck everybody. Like, I am tired of being the patsy. I'm tired of being viewed a certain way. The things that this person said then made me suicidal. But then I have a child who, ironically enough, keeps going back to the same place at the same time, and only the same person keeps getting notified. Yeah. If you do not suffer from depression, leave people alone. And the biggest thing, stop talking to people about their mental health in public. Stop bringing up, what did you talk to your therapist about? Did you get your when you're in public? And I said what I said. But let's go through this next video. And if you're not on TikTok and you haven't, or on Instagram, and you haven't seen the Black Girl Love Train, the Black Girl Follow Train, you're about to be tossed headfirst into it. And once again, you know your girl, there's a blog about it. And if you follow me on TikTok, or if you don't, you should, because I addressed it. This default damsel in distress got them shooketh. So I would say this is the time you might want to screen record this and share this one on all platforms. In 3, 2, 1. Let go.
Rose. So, hi dolls. I hope all is good. So I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can. So a lady goes and she makes a video. Her name is Rose. She makes a video questioning the trend where where black women are supporting black women. And she basically just kind of asks, like, why can't we all just support each other? She asks in a very kind way. She's asking a genuine question.
No, she didn't ask in a kind way. She was being condescending because she was outside the club and couldn't get in. But let's continue.
And she was eaten alive. Okay, so I want to...
She was held accountable. That's why she deleted all those videos after doubling, tripling, quadrupling, quintupling down. But okay. 1990s disco Barbie. Let's continue.
Address this because I have a biracial son that this kind of stuff bothers him, and he's 15 and he's been bringing it to me more. And the reason that it bothers him is because there's a group of white folk in America that are very lost and confused in these kind of moments, these kind of trends, and they don't know exactly what to do, how to feel.
So you don't know how to navigate your son saying he doesn't understand why white people want to continuously invade black spaces. So I'm going to go out here on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're going to tell him, as a biracial person, he can just disregard boundaries. And he's also male, right? Let's go. Let me guess. You're going to say some shit that's steeped in the patriarchy and dripping in white saviorism.
What to think. And so I'm one of these people, and I'm going to explain why. So I was raised by my great grandmother and my mother and my other grandmother, because they were all women supporting each other and taking care of all the grandchildren as well as all of my aunts. And let me tell you what, if we at any time would have excluded someone because of color, we would have had the skin beat off of our body till bleeding and scarring from switches that we would have had to pick from the tree ourselves.
When I'm done with this last fucking video.
I was raised in a time where you love everybody and you never exclude anybody, especially over skin color. Hell to the no. That's no. And so the first time I ever seen somebody use the N-word, and the first time I ever seen somebody be racist towards someone of color, I was 21, and I remember.
You were. Are you a person of color? Did you ever ask the people that were your friends, that you were inviting everywhere, that you lived around? Did you ever ask them about their experience? I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. You never did.
Remember, I was shocked and floored. Okay. So I spent 2 decades being conditioned that you love everybody. The street I grew up on, our house was in the center, and everybody came and played at my house. We played kickball. When my grandmother yelled lunchtime, everyone could eat that wanted to eat. You know, everyone could come in. The door was never locked. You came in and you came out however you wanted, no matter who you were. And me and my cousins were some of the only white people on the street. And there was a foster family there, so they would have different people that would come in and out. And so yes, they would have, you know, white individuals that would come in, but most of my friends on the street were the black girls, and there was an Asian family.
Oops, sorry. So only black people are in foster care because you didn't bring up organic black families that moved into your neighborhood. You brought up an Asian family. The tokenization. Gina Tay, Barbie. Let's continue.
There was a mixed family, and so.
What do you mean by a mixed family? Because your family wasn't mixed. Your family wasn't even mixed male and female to take care of the kids. You had a great grandmother on one side of the family and your mother, and a grandmother on the other side of the family. Where were the fathers of these children? While you're playing white savior, where was your white daddy? Where was your white granddaddy? Where was your white great granddaddy? Where was your white granddaddy on the other side of the family? Oh, you don't realize that you just exposed that the stereotype that you perpetuate onto black people, that's y'all shit. But let's keep going.
Now I'm supposed to be living in a time where we are supposed to be separating, and we are supposed to be excluding.
Shut the fuck up. Just because black women want to come together and uplift and congratulate and celebrate each other, we didn't exclude y'all. Y'all were the ones when Roe v. Wade overturned. They were like, oh, we got this. Our voices will be heard. No. But then y'all sat back after you had a few moments of cosplaying Handmaid's Tale, the TV show, not the actual book. Because, you know, reading the book would have hurt your feelings to realize, if you know, you know. And you gave up. as you always do, you sit back and you wait for predominantly Black women to come through and do the labor for you. We're not segregating ourselves from you. We're just celebrating each other. So Frizzle Poodle Hair, why you going so hard for a woman who said she wasn't white, but she was European? The rest of y'all with brain cells, I know. Hold your laughter, hold your laughter, hold your. I'm just quoting Rose. Rose said, "I'm not even from this country. I'm not white. I'm European." Now, I'm not gonna say she's from the mountains of Caucasus because I know Caucasians are not white. That's why I say that they have all the Anglo audacity because Anglo-Saxons. Let's finish hearing about peanut brittle hair Barbie and what she got to say, because she's the port authority on being a Black woman in the United States without being a Black woman. She just got impregnated by some Black penis. And because she already, from her own mouth, the patriarchy has brainwashed them that you pop out the babies and all the women in the family come together and take care of not just your babies, but all the babies in the neighborhood. You save everybody money when you ain't got money. The fuck? But okay, let's continue.
And but when you've grown up that you're a bad person and that good people don't do that, we don't know what to do with that.
How did you grow up as a bad person if you were the white savior family of the neighborhood? And if you grew up a bad person, you already knew that good people didn't do that. So why are you verklempt right now, honey boo boo? Words mean things. See, y'all so stupid that you still think that Black people are dumber than you. We never have been. We were y'all translators. This is how y'all couldn't figure out that we was hiding shit in our hair. We had to teach y'all how to. You know what? Just round this up, because you on my nerves. You on my nerves, and I'm ready to take my pants off. Let's go.
So it's not out of racism. It's not out of whiteness. Empowering.
It is 100% out of racism. It is 100% out of racism. Everything that you just said, everything that every white woman that's had a problem with Black women congratulating, cheerleading, big upping, supporting each other in our businesses or just existing is 100% racism. Because y'all didn't give a damn about any of us when Roe v. Wade got overturned. Y'all didn't give a damn about any of us, specifically Black women, during the midterm elections. Y'all didn't give a damn about us in the last presidential election. But you know who made the difference? The majestically melanated, so miss me Karen and Julie and Marsha. Fuck your feelings right now, because you're not being centered. You're not being praised for doing nothing. And see, this is how we can tell when a biracial between a white person and a Black person, when that child has a white mother, because y'all teach them to identify as white, to sympathize with white people. Even though 9 times out of 10, the family that gives you support is the Black family. Speaking from experience on multiple levels. And additionally, y'all get pissed off and go, oh, the family hates me because I'm. No, the family hates you because you come in with nothing to your name and gain everything that you have off of the backs of those black people. And then you walk around acting like you're the white savior of the family. You come in with a methany mama and a crack Sean father. And you happen to be jealous of every black woman that's close to you in age. Unless you realize that you can manipulate the young and dumb ones that happen to marry the toxic ones in the family. Because toxic recognize toxic, and toxic is always going to protect toxic. But hey, what do I know? As always, thank you for joining me here on Monday Mayhem on Conversations with Taz. I will see you all tomorrow, and make sure you subscribe and click the bell because, Taz-tastic Tuesdays comes out tomorrow, and hopefully the sentencing for Atatiana Jefferson's murder trial comes out. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And if you haven't checked out the blog, go check it out. It's pretty awesome. And make sure you follow the blog. So I'm just saying. And make sure you pick up some merch. Y'all keep telling me, oh, I wish I had this. I wish somebody, and I make it. So can y'all buy it? Ask him for a friend. But as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Till tomorrow night, y'all.